Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Rebel Moon Theory here, and if you guys know, I am actually in my studio right now. This is actually a studio that I'm making at the moment. It's not finished. I do still have some soundproofing I need to have on the wall, but I do have my monitor right here. I do have my PC on the other side of the room, but I was able to manage to bring all my cables in here in my closet. So right now I have my own studio now for Rebel Moon Theory, and wanted to say hello to everyone here in the chat. Okay, we don't have everyone just yet, but just wanted to, for those that are on their way, just wanted to say, hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I want to go ahead and go through the little rigmarole because we do have some the things I want to discuss. But first, I want to give a shout out to Zach Sire Soul Movement for giving us hope and so giving us motivation for us to be able to get the Cyberverse back. And for that, we can possibly see the Cyberverse return over at a third party like Netflix. We choose Netflix because Netflix has been rocking out with Zack Snyder over at Netflix, with him doing projects like Rebel Moon, Army of the Dead, Twilight of the Gods. So be sure to check out Zack Snyder's Soul Movement. We have the two co-founders, or we have the founders. We have Skywalker the Jedi, and then we have the co-founder Leon of the New Geeks, and the executive producer of ZSSM, The Good Austin. And we also have W. Necron, who has his other channel as well, doing his series on YouTube called TheWitchingHour. So please be sure to check him out as well. And please sure to check out Zack Snyder's Soul Movement. And when you're using the sell hashtags, which are SellZSGL Netflix and SellFirst Netflix, please be positive. Don't miss the hashtags. And make sure to not tweet or mention anybody over at WBD. And also do not mention James Gunn or anyone over there. And then next up, we have a training event for Rebel Moon Bloodline, which will be during the release of Rebel Moon Bloodline. The date is to be announced. When the release date is revealed, that will be the date for the Rebel Moon Bloodline training event, which is during the release of the Rebel Moon game, Rebel Moon Bloodline, which is coming to Android and iOS. So we will be using Rebel Moon, or hashtag Rebel Moon Bloodline. So once the game releases, you feel free to share your favorite parts about the game and what you love about it. And I cannot wait to rock out. And there is also another Rebel Moon training event coming up on August 2nd, 2025. This will be held to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Rebel Moon, the Director's Cut. So Rebel Moon TDC means the Director's Cuts. So on that day, we will be using hashtag Rebel Moon, the Rebel Moon TDC anniversary. And I did spell it wrong, but I will correct it later on. I'll make a post of it here on Twitter later on. But we will be using hashtag Rebel Moon TDC anniversary. So to keep the conversation going, to let everyone know that we're still here, rocking out with Rebel Moon, and be willing to celebrate the release of one of the greatest films that Zack Snyder has ever released. So, without further ado, I want to go ahead and start off with the first topic. And it's Rebel Moon is still alive. Okay. Now, I don't want to get too much into this, but I do want to cover this part, which most of this I covered on another stream that I did a few weeks ago. But there was a stream recently where they talked about where someone asked a question about Rebel Moon Part 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it was confirmed that Rebel Moon 3, 4, 5, and 6 is been outlined. But the thing about it is that there is a narrative going on of people saying that, oh, Rebel Moon is canceled. Well, we've seen stuff like this happen before. You know, we've seen these narratives get pushed out. Rebel Moon is still growing. I mean, we have a new Rebel Moon game releasing very soon. We have a new Rebel Moon comic that's going to be releasing really soon. It's coming out this summer, or the comic book is. We know of that. It's coming out this summer. I'm not sure when the game is going to be releasing, but we just had a closed beta for the game. And yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is that the narratives, they're nothing to be worried about. Rebel Moon is still growing. Like, for example, here, you know, we got this awesome game that's about to release, Rebel Moon Bloodline. We got the Nemesis comic that's coming out. And I mean, look, right here, if you read this, if you go at the very beginning of this part of the paragraph, you guys can see it says, there are so many stories yet to be discovered, and the tale of Nemesis and her revenge is one fans won't want to miss. So they're pretty much showing y'all that Rebel Moon is still growing. There's still more Rebel Moon on the way. Since it may have been outlined, it does not mean Rebel Moon is canceled. There is still more Rebel Moon. It's nothing but, you know, BS narratives. Like Netflix is, you know, they've been rocking out with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's been rocking out with Netflix. They have a wonderful relationship. And we are still here for Rebel Moon. We're still talking about it to this very day. And speaking of talking about Rebel Moon, we will go on to our next topic. And that is a new trailer that we just received for Rebel Moon Bloodline. This is an environmental trailer. So I am going to... Okay, I meant to... Okay, something just happened. I will be right back. Give me a few minutes. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna go up and check up here on the chat to see what everyone's doing. Yo, what is up, Sin Havoc? How are you doing tonight? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay, so anyway, while it pretty much... Okay, apparently... Okay, yeah, I may have messed up. Hopefully I didn't mess up. Oh, okay. I think I see what I did. Hold up. Okay, there we go. It's coming. Okay, just wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing. I forgot to add the file to this video that I'm about to show you guys. And while it loads, I'll kind of let y'all know what it shows. So in this trailer, they're showing out the environments in Rebel Moon Bloodline in the game. And they show about 4 or 5, I believe. But once it loads up, I will show you all the trailer. And continue to check up here on the chat. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a wonderful night so far. we're still here talking about Rebel Moon and doing a lot here. So now, hold up. Give me just a few minutes. Yeah, it's just waiting for this to process. So, yeah, I've really gotta say I'm really excited for Rebel Moon Bloodline, and here it goes. So, here is the trailer. There's a chance I may have to cut this out after the stream, but here is a clip of the trailer of we got for the Rebel Moon Bloodline environments. Okay, so in that trailer, the locations that they showed off, we had a look at the ancient ruins, and we had a look at the High Temple, which was the second one that they showed off. We have the Imperium Fuel Depot, which was around the third area that they did show. Kind of like in the kind of like a desert biome area that we know of. And then the fourth one that they showed out is the ice outpost, which we did have a look at some snow in Moa in the Rebel Moon movies, but in this one, this possibly could be another planet we have not seen in Rebel Moon just yet. So that is something that I think is going to be really cool, because we do know that Rebel Moon Bloodline is going to dive deep into the Rebel Moon universe. There's going to be, I believe that there's going to be a lot to be discovered in the game. And then we also have the enemy stronghold that was shown off, and that is an area. That was the fifth one that they showed off, that little side area. And then there is another place that they show called the Imperium Facility, which to me it looked very similar to the one that we had in Rebel Moon Part 1, where Korra and the rebels get betrayed by Kai, and also where Korra fights Noble. So also in the trailer, they did show the Rebel base, which we did see. We saw a picture of it on the Rebel Moon Bloodline website, but in this one, it was not. It was kind of like, it wasn't like a big picture, but in the trailer, you got like a full look at the like whole Rebel base, like the entire thing. And I thought that was really cool to see. This was a really cool trailer. I thought it would be very cool to show this to you guys here on stream. And now we will move on to the next topic. And also, Rebel Moon Bloodline will be available on Android, iOS. Trailers to be announced. I'll notify you guys when the release date comes out, and we'll be here to definitely play the game when it releases. I got some big plans for the game. So let's move on to the next topic. And what's up to DC All the Way, who has been rocking out with Rebel Moon since the very beginning. He is a huge fan of Rebel Moon, loves diving deep into the lore. And shout out to DC All the Way. Next up, we have some new Rebel Moon Nemesis comic book covers revealed. And these are actually new covers shown for issue 2, which is releasing on August 20th. Issue 2 is coming out on August 20th, and then we do have the first issue coming out on July 16th. So we'll be having a new issue coming out every single month. And to show you guys those pictures, I will go ahead, let me move this banner real quick to show you guys the pictures of the artwork for these covers, because the artwork for these covers are absolutely incredible. Look at this. Like, I really love the design of this artwork, where you see like Nemesis with the blades. Like, it almost looks like something off of an anime, like something from Studio Trigger, in my opinion. Like the way that it's designed, and the artwork for the characters look absolutely incredible. And I'm really curious to see who these Imperium generals are in this cover. I cannot wait to see who those will be. But the covers, look at these covers. These are absolutely amazing. And what I love about this one is this one, to me, fits with Korean and Japanese culture because how it's designed. It looks like Japanese artwork, if you know what I mean. And I also do love how the blades are glowing like that in the cover. It looks awesome. You know, this one right here, where Nemesis is out in her village after her kids were killed by the Mother World. And you have this other one right here that looks incredible right here. But man, these covers I thought they looked really amazing. I cannot wait to check out the Rebel Moon Nemesis comic. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. I believe that this is definitely going to be a hit for Rebel Moon and Netflix. And we're still here, talking about Rebel Moon. I cannot wait to dive deep into the story as well. I mean, we gotta have Henry Cavill and Rebel Moon. We gotta have him. But yeah, this was a pretty dope stream. You know, like I said, I believe we should continue to ignore these fake narratives that keep being pushed out with Rebel Moon. You know, still being, you know, with people trying to push out narratives that, oh, Rebel Moon's dead, and, you know, they're saying it's dead. You know, you got all these amazing stuff coming out of Rebel Moon. You got this new trailer that just dropped. You got more of the Nemesis comic that's coming out. We're getting animated. I believe we're getting Cowley shorts, if I'm not mistaken, that will be coming out very soon. And there's just still more Rebel Moon. There's still more to go. Netflix is still... Excuse me, guys. Yeah, just had a burp. Apologies. But yeah, Zack Snyder's still rocking out with Netflix. And Netflix is still rocking out with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder has an LAPD movie that's going to be on Netflix. And Zack Snyder specifically stated that he wanted to do something a little bit small. He wants to do this LAPD movie and wants to do a UFC movie. And then maybe after that, just maybe, he will do Rebel Moon 3 and he will also do Rebel Moon 4. Now, this is something that I thought of, and this is just what I think. I believe after Zack Snyder does the UFC movie and LAPD, I believe he should do Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 over at Netflix. I think after Zack Snyder does that, he can direct Rebel Moon 3 and 4. And then maybe after he does that, someone else could possibly direct Rebel Moon 5 and 6, which I think Eli Steyer would be good at directing those movies, considering that after Zack Snyder would do his Rebel Moon movies, the tone would already be established for Rebel Moon. So I think after Zack Snyder directs Rebel Moon 3 and 4, I think he should do Planet of the Dead. And in my opinion, I believe that that's what could possibly happen. But I don't know. That's just what I think. But I'm not really too sure. But from what we've seen right now, Zack Snyder's still killing it at Netflix. We're still getting more Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon stays alive. And we're still here rocking out with Rebel Moon. Like, we're talking about the game. We're diving deep into the Rebel Moon Nemesis comic. We also have, you know, I'm going to be having these training events for everyone to participate in for Rebel Moon. It's so awesome, and it's going to be amazing to check out all these amazing things that are going to be coming to Rebel Moon very soon. So yeah, I cannot wait to check out more Rebel Moon. Now I'm going to check up in the chat and see what everyone's saying. Hope we get flashbacks how our people lived. Oh, yo, that would be dope. You know what would be dope too? So in the novels, there's a part where they're showing Nemesis, or where they're telling that Nemesis, whenever this Imperial troop shoots at her, like after she wields the blades for the first time, she deflects that shot like it was the blades moving on their own, if you know what I mean. And I think it would be really dope if we got to see that in, live action or, artwork. I think it'd be very cool to see that in the comic book. I'm assuming the story will be about her seeking vengeance. Oh yeah, absolutely. I believe this is going to, it's definitely going to be, you know, it's definitely going to be diving deep into her story. Sounds like Netflix is going to have a deal with UFC, as in it being a Netflix like WWE. Yo, that's possible. There's a possibility that this UFC movie will end up on Netflix. That is a very big possibility. Or Jay Leva, he could move to live action instead of just animation. Hey, it's possible, because they did state that Rebel Moon is going to have other directors, and I believe definitely someone else could possibly direct Rebel Moon 5 and 6. Like I said, considering that the tone has been established for Rebel Moon. So yeah, this has been an amazing stream. I know it's a bit of a short one. I know I usually have some short streams, but I thought I would do the stream for you guys because we had this dope Rebel Moon news that just released, and I can't wait for more Rebel Moon. Can't wait to rock out with you guys. Can't wait to rock out with you guys. Once the release for Rebel Moon Bloodline. Can't wait to check out the Nemesis Comic along with more that's coming to Rebel Moon. And you guys have a wonderful night. Stay safe out there. And I will see you guys in the next one.